What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports Podcast. This is episode 8 of the podcast. Let's get right into it with the advertising stuff. Stats Free Sports channel, Stats Free Sports Podcast. Follow me everywhere. All social media have the same handle and all your normal places: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. Everywhere you have social media at, look for Stats Free Sports, all the same handle. Follow me there, subscribe there, all that good stuff. To the YouTube channel. Now to the Stats Free Sports Podcast. You can find this everywhere except for iHeartRadio and Pandora. I'm not on those two places yet, but everywhere else, go to those spots: Overcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor. Leave a review. Be honest. 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. Give me a 5 star. Whatever you want to give me. Drop a review. Drop a comment. All that good stuff if you can on that certain platform. Hit that subscribe button if you like the sports content. Let's get right into it. Episode 8, man. Let's start with NBA. Some NBA talk. NBA, for me personally, is the most exciting right now. NFL's been cool this year. I kind of haven't been into it as much. I've reviewed and stuff, still all that good stuff, but I work on Sundays now. I usually didn't last previous, 5-6 years. I hadn't worked on Sundays really, so I used to be able to do how I want to. Started a new job recently, a few months ago, and I've been working on Sunday. I work Sundays now. That's my normal schedule, so getting off around 5-6 o'clock now on Sundays is kind of sucky. So, not really into. I'm watching this thing like that, watching highlights and stuff like that. But, I would prefer to be off Sundays for my football. But no, I'm still watching it. So excited for it. But basketball to me right now is more prevalent, more exciting. Especially because the NFL season is winding down. Playoff time is coming soon. We're just getting the last couple spots hemmed up for the playoffs. And after that, I'm definitely be full bore, super excited for the playoffs. But until then, I'm still watching, just not, intently as I usually would, especially now working on Sundays. But today's Saturday, though, December the 19th, 20th, one of them 2 days. Whoever Saturday falls on is that day. Let's do some NBA talk. So I did a couple NBA live streams last week. I think 2 or 3. And I spoke on LaMelo Ball making his NBA debut, Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Edwards and those guys, Cole Anthony, all those rookies. That first game, the first 2 games, they were okay. The first game they was all had the nerves or just didn't play well. First time in the NBA, I understand it. Wasn't too harsh on anybody. Second game, everyone picked their game up. Third game, they played even better. LaMelo Ball played well, shot the ball from 3 pretty well in the third game. Anthony Edwards played great his third game. Cole Anthony better in the second game scoring wise, but played well throughout the entire process. I'm liking what I'm seeing from these guys. So far so good early on from the bigger names. Obi Toppins played well, not outstanding, but played okay, played well. Isaac Okoro from Auburn, he's now with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's my favorite player from this draft. When you tell me in 5 years who the best player, I picked him before on draft night. I have it on video somewhere. I don't know, podcast, YouTube, live stream somewhere. I have that on record. Isaac Okoro is my favorite player. My pick from this draft to be the best in this draft. When their career is all said and done. But I like everyone's game so far for the most part. I like Desmond Bane from TCU. He's now with the Memphis Grizzlies. I like him playing well. A lot of guys, man. I'm trying to keep track of most of the rookies that I really, stand out to me, and they all been playing well so far. But like I said, it's too early to tell. You never know. It's just year one. It's not even into the official year one yet. The first NBA games aren't played until December 22nd, but they're all looking pretty good, though. All looking solid. I'm ready to see Big O from the Hawks. I don't like him being on that team. I've been saying that for the longest time since he's been drafted. I don't like Big O from USC. I don't like him on the Hawks. I like him as a player. I don't like him on the Hawks, though. That's just me. But, yeah, that's really it for the rookies. They're just warming up right now. We'll see the real deal midway through the season, how they really are, how they're developing and things like that. Let's get on to James Harden, the hottest topic right now. Will he be traded before the trade? I mean, before the season starts? I say no. But you do see the Rockets opening up the trading market for everyone dang near about now. It's not just his teams he wants, it's almost everybody, which is the best case scenario. He has, what, 2, 3 years left? Yeah, he's going to play for the team for that 2 or 3 years, whatever. So, I think, and I put up a poll on Twitter last week. Who was a under the radar team that could trade for James Harden? I put the Magic, I put the Kings, I put Spurs, and I think someone else. But yeah, I definitely think James Harden could possibly not go to a contender because he's gonna play unless he forfeits all that money for the next 2 years. He's gonna have to play, and that's willing. And that's depending on the team that wants to bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Like Sacramento, him, De'Aaron Fox. What's old boy, the power forward, Bagley. That's not a bad trio. Two young guys, an older, no, not older, but he's 31. Established James Harden. That's not bad. It's not a bad trio. Mix of young and older guys. Um, the Magic. Magic have a nice pieces. Aaron Gordon you can trade for him with. They have Cole Anthony if you like him. They have Fultz if you like him. They have Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, Jonathan Isaac out for a year, but he's there. They have a decent little, that might can bring some life to Orlando for a year or two. But yeah, he's not staying there for sure if he gets traded there. But it's just a couple spots, man, that James could be traded to and just be in, a cool little city for 2 years that he probably won't stay in for long term. But it's just a cool trade for that franchise to have him for 2 years. But I definitely don't think he'll be traded before the year starts. That's in a couple of days. I definitely doubt that. But the thing is, the biggest news that's coming out of Philly is, are they willing to put up Ben Simmons for James Harden? I used to say yeah, because I was a big proponent last 2 years, of trading Ben Simmons for Chris Paul for the Sixers reasons. I wasn't really thinking about the Rockets or any other team, like that, for getting Ben Simmons back. Now Ben Simmons being traded for the big dog James Harden, I say no. I say no. You know what? I say yes. Excuse me, I take it back. I literally changed my mind just right now because I have another topic I'm gonna lead into right after this. But and I'm gonna get y'all opinion on this. But I'm gonna put it through a Twitter poll as well. But I'll get into it next. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, I think Ben Simmons needs his own team. The rumor behind Philly for the last few years is Joel and Ben Simmons are both immature when they were a few years ago, and it's still on to this day. They're saying, okay, they matured a little bit and they take the game more seriously, but they still want their own team. They're both alpha dogs. They both want their own team. They both think they're the best player on the team. You know what I'm saying? And they both have that right to a certain degree. Ben Simmons plays like it. Joel Embiid plays like it at moments as well. But yeah, I don't like the trade for Philly. Like I said, I like the Ben Simmons for Chris Paul trade for Philly because I think it will help out Philly as a title contender. Now that ship is gone; it's sailed now. Um, like I said, I never really cared about if Ben Simmons went to Houston or in a 3-team trade went somewhere else. But now trading James Harden for Ben Simmons, I don't like it for Philly. I don't think it'll work out. You would think it would, but the way James Harden James Harden has to show me these first couple games he's willing to give the ball down low to Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins inside the paint or in pick and rolls. If he's not doing that, if he's still playing the same old James Harden ball in a new system from Coach Silas, and then it's like, okay, he just don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? But if James Harden is willing to drop it in the post, do pick and rolls again, you know what I mean? Like he's supposed to, and not just wave him off. So now I got it. Just what I'm saying? Just know I got it. Let me go ahead and cook and dribble for 20 seconds. Like, no, that's not the good ball I need. If you giving me Harden dumping it down low and sitting there and waiting and being patient or cutting and things like that. Okay, cool. Now we can talk because my theory is I said it on Embiid for a long time. You put his big butt on a post, put him on a block, and Embiid is unstoppable because you're gonna have to double him. Then he's gonna pass the ball. You have shooters and scorers in Philly right now. Seth Curry, Danny Green, Thibault, list goes on. Tobias Harris. You have scorers and shooters in Philly. You know what I mean? Adding in James Harden would take away from that in a certain sense in team depth wise, but you still have a great player in James Harden who can score and shoot at the highest caliber. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to double one of those two guys, in my opinion. And whoever you pick, the other one's going to go off because you can't single cover and be consistently for a whole game. You can't single cover Harden. You would think unless you're struggling for a whole game, unless it's the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But I like it in theory, on paper, but I have to see how Harden will play with Houston the first few weeks to a month or so. If you're gonna dump the ball down low to Christian Wood or Cousins and let them just work for certain drives, and you just sit there and watching them, you're cutting them, you're moving without the ball good. Okay, cool. Now he's willing to do that. If not, then I'll say no. But leading into as of right now, I'm saying no for the trade. If I'm Houston, I wouldn't want. If I'm Philly, as I'm trying to say, if I'm Philly, I will not give up Ben Simmons for Harden right now, unless they're struggling on their end and they're not getting connection with Ben Simmons or Embiid still, and they're not working well together still. Then I would say, okay, it's time to trade it. But right now, no. Before the season, heck no. But I need to see y'all, Ben Simmons and Embiid and the whole team, their dynamic and how they plays, because Ben Simmons to me should be playing in like a point forward type role, not really point guard. But let's get into the next segue topic. Ben Simmons, is he the closest thing to LeBron James in the NBA right now? I'm saying yes. And I had this argument with friends at my old job. Ben Simmons been in the league for 4 years now. Because Donovan Mitchell got the max extension. So yeah, I think Ben Simmons was league a year before Mitchell was. So yeah, Ben Simmons been in the league for about 5 years now, going on 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what, 2015. I had this debate back then. Ben Simmons, it could be, and it's still possible, kind of, sort of. He's still young. He won't be the same type of player, obviously, but Ben Simmons can be the closest thing, and is right now to me the closest thing to LeBron James. So that's why I would say for Houston, I would want Simmons because I view Simmons as a young LeBron James now. He's not the same exact player. Don't get me wrong. He's not even trying to shoot the ball. That's the only thing that's separating him from LeBron James. He was on a LeBron James track coming from high school, coming from LSU. He was in LeBron James' stratosphere, kind of sort. It's a big stratosphere. He was in there to a certain degree, whether how high, how low. To me personally, he was in that stratosphere. He was in that conversation as a young LeBron type of player, right? And if you remember how LeBron was back in his early Cleveland days, lockdown defense, fast-paced game, high energy, high jumping, sky high dunks, super athletic, all that good stuff. All NBA defensive guys, steals, blocks, rebound, triple dubs. That's what Ben Simmons is giving you now. The style of play is different. It's changed. The floor is more open, things like that. And he's also playing the position LeBron should have played back then as well, a true point guard, which LeBron is playing now as a true point guard most of the time. Instead of playing the three, he's playing the one, and he's guarding threes. Ben Simmons is playing the one and guarding ones and three, or whoever he's guarding. But yeah, he's playing the one, which LeBron should have been doing, in my opinion, his entire career since his first early Cleveland days, right? So he's on track to be a LeBron James light. Not just because he's light skinned, but because he's not the same player LeBron is. He probably will never be because he started off so late in his career. If he ever gets it right, he started off so late, he probably can't reach LeBron's height. but he's a LeBron-ish type of player. And I think he's the closest thing to LeBron if he starts to realize I need to shoot. Now, I think Ben Simmons knows it, though. That's the thing. I think he knows it, but he just, he's tried last year just a little tiny bit, but he knows it, though. He just, I don't know. I don't know, but if you give me him and Tatum right now, I'll say, okay, Tatum's better because Tatum's shooting the ball. At least Tatum will shoot. You know what I'm saying? But defensively, Ben Simmons better. Assist-wise, Ben Simmons better. Scoring-wise, inside the paint, Ben Simmons is better. More physical, Ben Simmons. I'm picking him all day, every day, except for the shooting portion, which is a big major spot, which will take him out the running for best player in the league, in my opinion. You give me him and Giannis. At least Giannis tries to shoot. You know what I mean? Like he's if people say Giannis is next LeBron, I say no because Giannis is just a freak. LeBron wasn't that freaky like that. Giannis is just a freak. 6'11", 7 foot, doing stuff he's doing. LeBron was doing similar things, but Giannis is just too. He's a different category. He's just a freak. You know what I mean? Like how people say KG was a freak. Giannis, excuse me. Giannis is a freak as well in a different way, but yeah, he's just real freakish. It's different, but I could give you Giannis could be the next LeBron, but he's not the sister or pastor Ben Simmons is. That I believe Ben Simmons is on the same similar caliber of passer and IQ as LeBron James. But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying with Houston. I think Houston would want Ben Simmons because you give him his own team. He's clearly the better player. Now, he won't be the point guard because John Wall is there. That'll be the weird thing about it. But he could be the playmaking three like LeBron was in his Cleveland days. So they're kind of reversing roles. You know what I'm saying? You have a point guard, and LeBron plays true point later in his career. Ben Simmons is playing the playmaking three later in his career or midway in his career instead of early on like LeBron was. So it'll be a little switch of roles, but I think he could do it. Just trust his shot more, and and I think he'll be fine. So leave a comment section somewhere on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, in a video somewhere in whatever platform you view this on, you listen to this on. Is Ben Simmons the next LeBron James, or could he be if he realizes his potential and shoots the ball like he's supposed to? Could Ben Simmons be a LeBron James type of player? I say yes. And I gave my top 10 list on my previous NBA live stream, my last NBA live stream. I think it was earlier this week, late last week. I think it was earlier this week, like Monday or Tuesday. And I left Ben Simmons off my top 10 list, right? Only because of the shot. Everywhere else, IQ, passing, defense, help defense, rebounding, inside scoring, physicality, Ben's toughness. Ben Simmons, he get a little injury prone here and there, but Ben Simmons has everything you will want. Ben Simmons can give you 30 points a night just off free throws and driving the ball inside the lane. That's what I'm saying. Like, Ben Simmons can do that. He can do that, man. Ben Simmons can give you 30, 12, and 12 on a real hot night if he's hot or if he's angry. We've seen him before. When he gets angry or gets bullied around by somebody, he goes off. When Embiid is out, he goes off. Ben Simmons can give you that without even shooting the ball, without even a mid-range shot. Give him a mid-range shot this year. Give him just a foul line or a 15, 16-footer. Ben Simmons is going to be even more dangerous. Give him a three-point shot another year or two. He's going to be dangerous. He's going to be a LeBron type of player. That's what I'm saying, man. But he just needs to shoot. But like I said, leave in the comment section somewhere. Do you think Ben Simmons could be the next LeBron James kind of player? I ain't gonna say next LeBron because it's only one LeBron, but could he be in that same impact range, in that same sphere of a player? I say yes. I'm definitely saying yes to that question. Let's go to the Brooklyn Nets. First, let's go with some funny stuff. Not funny, but to some Kyrie doing Kyrie things, which isn't a bad thing. Let me just say that. But the saging before the game last night with the Boston Celtics. Now he's saying that he wants to sage, if allowed by the team, to do that every game, before every game. I have no problem with it. Look, whatever gets your mental health, keep you mentally healthy, keep your spirit fine and all that good stuff. I'm cool with it. Whatever rocks your boat, whatever floats your boat, I'm cool with it. It's just funny and not funny. I'm taking it back, not funny because I don't clown people or joke on people that's different or think different because I think differently on certain things as well. I'm not gonna, do that. But Kyrie doesn't mind being Kyrie in public, which I respect. You know what I'm saying? And whatever helps you play better, brother, I like it. Just saying that. But on to the game though. Nets versus Celtics. Nets put a whipping on them. KD and Kyrie are looking fine. They're looking great. Karis LeVert looking good. Like the whole team is fine. We all know. We all know the Nets will be a dominant force if they are all healthy. Even if they miss Dinwiddie, even if they miss Karis LeVert, cool, not cool, but okay, they can deal. As long as Kyrie and KD stay healthy, then they're fine. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I have a not controversial, because it's not a controversial, but I have something I want to say though. I think, look, I've been saying this for a long time. LeBron is the best player in the world for a long time, even when KD was in Golden State and doing what he was doing. And even when he played one-on-one, when they were having that one-on-one matchups inside of those finals games, when KD was busting all on, take it back. When KD was scoring all in LeBron's face with those deep threes and things like that and making LeBron look funny on defense, I still say to this day, LeBron's the best player in the world. This year, I think for a few reasons, I won't say that, but for a few reasons, I think the world will recognize KD as the best player in the world, and I think LeBron will be number 2 for the first time in NBA history since being number 1. I think this year, 2021 season, the 2020-2021 season, I think the world NBA consensus, the NBA world, will recognize Kevin Durant as the best player in the NBA this upcoming, like after the season's over, he will be the best player in the NBA. I'm staying with that. Now, I think the Lakers will win it all because they have the better, deeper team. Like I said, this is what I say is always barring injury. Injury free, everyone's healthy in a great world, everything's happy, go lucky world. Everyone's healthy, everyone's injury free, good mental health, good mental space, all that good stuff. No lagging injuries. KD at the end of this season will be the consensus NBA number 1 player in the world. Now, the Lakers, in my opinion, will win the title. They might face the Nets in the finals. KD might cook LeBron, but I think the Lakers will win it all, right? But I'm saying on a couple things why LeBron will lose that spot. 1, I think LeBron will rest a lot. 2, age, he will be 36. 3, he's trying to preserve his career. And I think, also because he doesn't need to be the best player in the world anymore. Even though he can be, or he might as well could be still, I think he's going to take a step back because AD will be dominant. This Lakers team, guys, people aren't really telling you the truth sometimes. Oh, this the problem. Kuzma not playing well. Terrence Horton Tucker, he's young. He's not. It doesn't matter about those 2 guys. When you have Schroeder, when you have Saul, you have Davis, you have Matthews, you have all these guys, Caruso. This team is Montrezl Harrell. This team is deep. KCP. This team is deep. Quinn Cook. This team is deep. This team is super duper deep. Last couple years, LeBron James teams have no depth. They have depth now. A lot of depth. A lot of it. This team is scary. Now, the only team I can really say has a similar depth is the Nets. Dinwiddie off the bench, Karis LeVert maybe off the bench, or Joe Harris, Jerry Allen or DeAndre Jordan off the bench. That's similar, kind of sort of depth. The Sixers have a good bench squad as well. Celtics kind of cool. Clippers okay. But really the top two to me, honestly, the Nuggets have a good one too as well. But the best two to me, honestly, are the Lakers and the Nets. The best squad one, squad two, starters and bench players. I think the Nets and Lakers have the best duo of squads. And I just think LeBron won't have to do that much because his team will be so good. LeBron will play great in spurts, but I think in those spurts, you can't really have LeBron be labeled the best in the world. You know what I'm saying? When you have KD doing it on every drive, dang near, you have AD doing it most of the time for Lakers. You have Schroeder doing it here. You have the whole team working in sync. You have Gasol busting a three. You have this and that. That Nets offense will most likely, as we all know, but it will most likely be Curry. I want that Curry for like I'm country. The Nets offense will be carried mainly by KD, secondly by Kyrie. I say the Lakers offense will be carried, one, mainly by AD, secondly by LeBron, but I think LeBron's passing will be more in the forefront than LeBron's scoring, in my opinion. And that will make him take a step back. Because we all know KD's the better scorer than LeBron, but LeBron's the better overall player. I think we won't see that much scoring from LeBron. We already know LeBron can't really check KD one-on-one in those situations. So I just think all that put together, KD will have an edge over LeBron because we won't see that dominant LeBron because his team is so good, and AD will take over after win that title finally. AD will take over and realize his potential and take over like he's supposed to. And the team is so good, man. That team is so good. Kuzma, Horton, Schroeder, Harrell, Gasol, Caruso, KCP, Matthews, Quinn Cook, Jared Dudley. Jared Dudley. They have a squad, man. They really have a legit 11-man squad. Like they can run out at any time, a good rotation. They can have a deep rotation and not be worried at all about any drop off for real. To be honest, LeBron should get a bunch of rest this year. LeBron should not have to really play late have to play that many minutes. That's what I'm saying. LeBron will still be dominant, but it'll be in so many spurts or so less spurts because he don't really have to be dominant as much because AD is there. Schroeder is there. Schroeder's a dog. Schroeder can score. Schroeder can flat out score. He can assist. He can do all those things. All those things. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't mind throwing the ball up and shooting. Kuzma don't mind throwing the ball up and shooting. Horton Tucker don't mind shooting. KCP needs to shoot. Matthew needs to shoot a couple times a game. Gasol can shoot. Harrell going to be a dog, get rebounds, get misses, things like that. It's going to be a lot of work that LeBron don't have to do anymore. Just sit there and sit back and chill, make plays in small spurts, not many spurts he used to be making. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely saying KD, after this season, will be recognized the best player in the world. But the Lakers will win the title, in my opinion, this year. But I will say, though, the Nets are definitely dangerous, though. They are definitely dangerous. I like how they're looking. A nice half-court offense. But we know it's going to be a KD and Kyrie show with a little sprinkle of Karis LeVert and what's his name? Spencer Dinwiddie. I'll go into my NBA MVP talk, who I think will be the favorite for this year's title. This year's NBA title. Excuse me, NBA MVP title. Excuse me, I'm tripping. I just gave you who I think the best player in the world will be. Now we all know The best player in the world does not always mean MVP. Well, it never really means the MVP and the best player in the world coincide together. It's always different for the most part. I think it's Luka. Luka had great numbers. Luka had fantastic numbers last year. Giannis can't. I don't think Giannis can do as well as he did the last 2 years. He played great 2 years ago, won MVP. Played better than that this past year, won MVP. I think he's above MVP now. He now needs a title. You know what I'm saying? And everyone reaches that stage in their career for the most. I mean, everyone who's that caliber. Steph Curry, if he does the same thing he did with his MVP years, I think it won't be enough. Um, you know, KD won MVP. Won't be enough. You already did it. You already done it. You know what I mean? It's always about scenario, timing and place, all that good stuff. All about a storyline and who's hot right now, who hasn't won it, who's an up and coming star. You have guys like Luka, you have guys like D Rose won it before. Giannis, when you say, certain players, Steph and James Harden. Steph won it both times. Oh no, Steph, yeah. Didn't they say Steph robbed James Harden twice or something like that, or one time, whatever? But yeah, you could have gave it to multiple people, but end up being the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, but yeah, I think this year storyline gonna be Luka. He's gonna be heavy on Dallas, and if he performs and have that team have a good record, top four, top five seed, which they probably will be, in my opinion, Dallas and Luka should be. Well, Dallas should be a pretty good team, and Luka, barring injury, should have great numbers. He had great numbers last year. Dang near a triple double. He'll do it again. He'll be MVP. I don't care what Giannis does. I don't care what LeBron does. I don't care what KD does, Kyrie, Steph, none of these guys. It's all about timing, all about young stars, all about all that. And Luka, the youngest star who hasn't won one yet, unless Tatum breaks out, which I don't think he will. Unless Simmons breaks out, I don't think so. Embiid, I don't think so. Luka, for all intents and purposes, is a one-man star. I know Porzingis is there, but he's hurt, and he's not. Porzingis is not really a star by play. He's good. He's very, very good. He's not a star though. I think his star took a hit after he left New York. Played in Dallas last year. He was good. He was very good, but he wasn't great to me personally. So he's not really a star. He's a very big name. He's a star by name and a semi-star by play, but not a solidified star. Um, to me, Porzingis is a superstar. He just needs that crowning of an NBA MVP to officially be called that. But he's definitely on his way there, though. I think this year or next year definitely will be Luka's time, barring injury. On to some Jeremy Lin drama. So Jeremy Lin, who, fun fact, I did a video on last year about him going to play in the CBA, which is the China Basketball Association. He went there. I did a video on it, and that video exploded somehow. So shout out to Jeremy Lin. He was my first ever big video on my YouTube channel like a year and change ago. So shout out Jeremy Lin. But he's involved in a little bit of drama right now for some reason. So, okay, let me give you a little backstory. Jeremy Lin didn't play in the NBA last year at all. He was upset about it, very down. So he played in the China Basketball League, played over there, played well. Um, I think averaged about 18 points a game, like 18, 6, and 6, something like that, somewhere around those numbers. 18, 6 and 4, 6 and 2, something like that. But it's a rule over there in that league that uh like when you're an overseas player, you have to be cut or on the inactive list to make room for natural born Chinese players. And when some guys came up or came off the injury reserve, whatever, Jeremy Lin, who's an American player by trait, by where we know him from, whatever. He's an overseas player. He's a basically overseas player over there in China. You know what I'm saying? To keep it simple. He was cut by that, not cut, but he was on the inactive list for a couple of games by that team. He ended up going to the playoffs, ended up leading that team to the semifinals of the playoffs, but that left a bad taste in his mouth that he was cut. You know what I mean? By playing well, playing great, being a team player, all that good stuff, making great money. He was living great over there, but he was really upset because my dream can be taken away like that because I'm not a natural born citizen here, so they can cut me whenever they want just to make room for a naturally born player there. So that's the rule. Something like that is similar to the. Just look it up. Look at the situation. It's just something similar to that. I'm almost about right on that. I'm not mistaken. But yeah. So that's that situation with him. Now he did he did sign a multi-year deal with that Chinese basketball league team. He does want to return to the NBA. He said that on many things, on documentary. He has his own shoes coming out with a Chinese brand. He said it for that trailer that documentary that came out with those shoes. He said it there. He said it in multiple interviews. He wants to come back to the NBA. He thinks he still has some left. I think he does as well. So the Golden State Warriors now to current day stuff. The Golden State Warriors G League team now I'm finding out. So I heard two stories. I heard the actual Warriors NBA team wanted him to come, and the deal was very imminent. I think by Shams reported that. And then next thing I saw, Jeremy Lin said no, not nothing finalized yet. I'm like, huh? If it goes to NBA and the Golden State Warriors want you, what's the problem? Then now I'm seeing updated a few hours later, it's the Golden State Warriors G League team. Now I'm like, okay, gotcha. Now it's something different. Now that's something different. So yeah, when your G League team calls me and I'm playing against guys like Jalen Green, those guys, I'm gonna be a showcase for those guys, and they're gonna be drafted next year, and I'm still gonna be in the G League or be cut or something like that. I'll never be called up. Then it's a problem. Yeah, so if I'm Jeremy Lin, I would I would just stay overseas, to be honest, because that's you know I and my thing is right when you had NBA success, you had NBA money, you've done it all, you've been there, you've done it, you played well on the biggest stage. I don't know what else do you want from it. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Lin played for the Raptors in 2018, played decently, averaged about 7 points a game. He was cool. We all know him for the Knicks and the Sandy, all that good stuff. He's been working out with KD and the Brooklyn Nets. He's been working out in America with Steph and the Golden State Warriors. He's been doing it. You know what I mean? No one really wanted to sign him yet to an official NBA roster. It's just not in the cards. It might not be him. It might just be, some behind the scenes we don't know. But I would not. I'm not trying to critique him like that because it's not my place. But me personally, I wouldn't mind staying overseas and getting an overseas bag. We've all seen what Stephon Marbury, if you don't know, just go ahead and Google it. Stephon Marbury, former New York high school legend, New York legend, basketball legend, played for the Knicks, played for Timberwolves, played for a couple other teams, legend. A legend growing up, NBA, he was very good, kind of died off towards the end of his career. He went overseas to China, the same China basketball league, and he became a legend. He became a Michael Jordan-esque figure over there in China. Has statues, has his own shoes, have businesses, have companies, have diehard fans, won titles. You can do it, guys. The NBA is not the only route you can go to have fame and fortune and those things and money and things like that and live out your dream. I've been saying this for a long time, guys. The main route isn't always the best route. It's so much politics. I'm pretty sure everywhere you go. To be honest, you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure high school is politics. College is more politics. When you have overseas is more politics. Professional is probably the most of the NBA and stuff. More politics. I understand that, and you have to know that as well. It's always about being happy. And the main route, won't always make you the happiest, in my opinion. And I don't see why certain guys will just die for that. Like, Jeremy Lin has a good career. He played great for a 2 week stretch for the Knicks. Was made diehard fans. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. He made a name. He played against certain players, outplayed them during that time. Played great. The next year, played with Melo. You know what I mean? As like a 2 team star, him and Melo. You know what I'm saying? He was that guy. Went to Brooklyn for a year or so. Went to Toronto for a year or so. Had a big name. You know, he led Sports Center for 2-3 months straight. Lin Sandy. After that, played well, played in the NBA, got those checks, got that money, still got the attention. It's time. There's nothing wrong with phasing from that and moving on for the future. And I think going into CBA, the China Basketball Association, for him and staying there, which I said the same thing in the video. The one that got big, well, not big, but big for me. Last year, he should just stay there. There's nothing wrong with being there. I would love to go to China. If I'm in that situation, I would love to go there. And then my next goal is to be like Stephon Marbury. I want statues. I want rings. I want my own shoes, which I already have his own shoes. I want kids named after me. I want kids to grow up to want to be me. I want my jersey retired. I want all that and everything that comes with it. I want all that. That's what I'm striving for. You know what I'm saying? People respect that. They might never do it publicly. And if you want the public fame and public recognition over here in America, that's going to be tough to get. America is a troll culture. All we do over here is troll and joke and, oh, you ain't been good since Lin Sandy 8 years ago. That's cool. But not just Jeremy Lin, but you yourself, if you're that person, know what you've done and what you mean to the game and all those things. Stephon Marbury made affordable shoes for kids and adults. He did that. He did that. And he comes out publicly every now and then again and talk about Jordan realistic stuff. If people say some real life, why would you buy Jordans for $100 some dollars plus? We have Marbury's that's stylish, that's cool for $20, $30 in your local store. You know what I'm saying? Which is real life. The Jordan and Jordan brand and Nike paying all that little money for those people making the shoes and freaking overcharging it by 100 million times. You know what I'm saying? Being drastic, but I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Like, realistic. So, I mean, Stephon Marbury has some points to him. And he had a great career. Now I believe he's a coach over there. So it's life after NBA. Because people need to find that happiness outside of the NBA. You had your chance. It's done, seemingly. You know what I'm saying? Move on. And he's done a good job, but the way he keeps, every time I see him talk, Jeremy Lin, I talk about it, he's talking like, oh, my mental health, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just depressed about. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, you had your shot, it didn't happen. It's okay, move on. Don't do the mental health thing and you're mentally going insane and you're depressed and you can't do it without NBA, you don't want to play ball no more. Don't do that. Don't do that. But like I said, to each their own. I support them either way. But I've been saying this for a year now. Stay in CBA and be the next, get Stephon Marbury type of player, get some statues, all that good stuff. That's my take on that, though. I went on a little rant, but yeah, I really irritate me, man, when guys are just so bonded to the mainstream stuff. It's okay to be under. It's okay to be not publicly seen in the NBA no more or associated with it no more. It's fine. It is totally fine. Now on to Giannis signing with the Bucks, staying there, 5-year deal. What was it, $222 million, biggest contract in NBA history. The super duper max. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I don't really care either way, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really care either way. I don't think his team will be good enough to win anything, anyways, for the next couple years. But it's cool. It's cool, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wasn't too. Oh my god, I was too shocked. Great money. I wish I had some of that money, but you know, that's cool for him. Let's go to the NFL, man. Let's talk about Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins, Washington football team in the playoff hunt. Alex Smith is out with the injury. Not it's nothing too serious. He should be back maybe next week. Dwayne Haskins is getting a start. As you remember, Kyle Allen is out for the year with a broken leg. So Dwayne Haskins was the backup the entire time. He is now the now back the starter. Does this mean Dwayne Haskins has a future in the Washington? Yes, he does. I've been saying this since he been benched. I made a video on it the day he got benched. I said his career is not done yet, and I stood by that. I stood by it. I don't know for sure. And I said this before. The football team, the Washington football team, has kind of played themselves out of a quarterback to draft in this year's first round, right? In my opinion, if they made the playoffs or not, they should be around 6 and you know what I mean? They should be around 8 and 8 somewhere. 6 and 10, 7, 9, 8 and 8. They will finish somewhere around that range. That's not good enough to get Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance. I think they'll be gone but before those picks. So by that math, I know that people like the guy from Penn State. I think it's Penn State and another guy or two. I don't think Washington will go that route. I think they will give him another weapon, in my opinion. They will show up their wide receiver line group. They will hit their O line up a little bit. I think they'll do those things instead, or tight end instead of getting another quarterback. So that means it'll be a competition between Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins still has life in Washington. He still can revive himself and redeem himself. It's not over yet. As I said in that video a few months back, when he got benched, Dwayne Haskins has a future. He just needs to sit this year out, study film, get his mental right, things like that. And I hope he's done it because it's time to start. Tomorrow it's time to start, and he's in the middle of a playoff push, a playoff hunt. So we'll see what he's made of. But I definitely think he has a future still. He has the talent. Still young, only his second year. He has the talent, man. So, but I made it clear in my video, he will not be done like Josh Rosen was, because that was just nasty in my opinion. You gave that man a nasty O-line, no weapons, and then you give him away just like that to another nasty situation in Miami. Come on, man. Come on, man. It was nasty in my opinion, but I definitely believe from the get-go Dwayne Haskins would not be Josh Rosen. Let's talk about this Ravens Browns game that just happened. Like I said, not too much on football. I seen all the highlights, seen the games. I reported on a couple games from last week. But like I said, I've been working on Sundays, so I can't really give you a super in-depth thing like that. I'll probably get into my playoff rankings and things like that, or my power rankings, and my playoff matchups when the playoffs come. I do that in that podcast or that video on YouTube. So, but as of right now, we're gonna be real light on the NFL talk. But the Browns and Ravens game happened. Pretty epic game. Lamar took a poop and came back. Um, I gotta take a poop right now, but I'm probably not coming back. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'm gonna try and finish up real quick. So I'm taking my little pooping trying to upload this video and stuff. But I mean this podcast and stuff. But uh Lamar Jackson, I'm not sold on. I'm not sold on. I definitely think the Ravens did all those moves right now to get Calais Campbell. They got Yankin Ngakoue. They have Hollywood Brown, have a great defense. It's seemingly by Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters, pretty good running game. Ingram and J.K. Dobbins and those guys. I think it's too early. This team will be a good what if story. What if Lamar Jackson was ready and mature enough, not mature personality, but mature game wise, quarterback wise. He's not ready to lead this team to the Super Bowl yet. And by the time he will be, or if he ever will be, this team will be too old or they'll just be missing a few pieces. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing with Lamar Jackson. He's not ready right now to lead this team to the promised land. And that's really, to be honest, past the Chiefs, past the Bills, past the Titans. I don't think the Ravens right now will beat any of those three teams. Chiefs, Titans, or Bills. Even the Steelers will be a close game to me. But I think they have no shot in beating those four teams. No shot when playoff time comes. I think teams know how to play Jackson. I think they played him well all season. He hasn't really snapped on teams like that except for the first couple of weeks. He had those long, 50-yard, 60-yard touchdown runs. But other than that, Jackson really hasn't played too tremendously well past those first early weeks. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple throws here and there, like against the Browns. He came back through that 40-yard throw to Marquise Brown. But other than that, it's nothing really stand out worthy from Lamar Jackson. You know, he's been sacked. He's been sacked a nice amount of times. He's been pressured a lot. He's made a lot of bad throws throughout this entire year still. And he's just not ready yet to lead his team to the promised land. Um, so from that game, that's my biggest take. The Browns, they're a pretty good team. Not quite ready yet, in my opinion. Not quite. They're close though. They're close, but not ready yet. They're not in that Bills, Titans, Chiefs conversation to me. They're right on the outside, hanging around the Steelers and the Ravens. But they are a very good team. They are definitely close. But yeah, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will be a great what if. Like, man, if Lamar Jackson was, if if they got him, you know, if you could fast forward his development 3 years from now, then they'll be ready. But by the time 3 years from now come, Marlon Humphrey might be not the same he used to be. You know what I mean? Peters could be traded away or gone or something. You know what I'm saying? Calais Campbell should be retired in 3 years. Marvin, what's his name? Not Marvin Ingram. It's Ingram. Yeah, it is Marvin Ingram, right? Andre Ingram. What's his name? Ingram, this running back. I forgot his first name. Mark Ingram. Yeah, Mark Ingram. He'll probably be traded away or cut or released in 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I think he was on trading block this year. So yeah, I definitely think Hollywood Brown will demand a trade pretty soon, probably next year. If it's not going better with Lamar, because he likes Lamar, they train together, they're cool, they're boys. I understand that, but it comes a time and place where okay, playing with Lamar will limit my money, will limit my chances. He has speed, he has a side. Now he dropped a couple of passes, here and there. I will say that, but Hollywood Brown has a side. I mean, not side. He has the speed, the quickness, the swiftness to be a great receiver, a pretty good receiver. He just don't have the quarterback to really get it there for him. And Lamar Jackson's kind of holding him back in his own personal growth. And that comes with having a big contract. So having no numbers really, just potential, will by the time he's a free agent, Hollywood Brown will have no suitors or very less suitors. Very, very, very little suitors for very low money because he has no numbers to put up or show for it because of Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're going to get to the point where Hollywood Brown wants to be gone and just Lamar still hasn't grown enough yet to really push his team to the Super Bowl. So, they did all those moves, I understand, to kind of counter Lamar's struggles. But I think Lamar will struggle in those categories of accuracy and decision making for the next couple of years. So it's kind of a moot point. I don't think they have a shot to win the title in the next couple of years. So it's kind of a waste of a great Ravens team, in my opinion. But that's really it for the NFL talk. I did an NFL live stream a couple of days ago, so you can view that to view my thoughts on current things like the Steelers and the MVP and things like that. I did a video on that recently, so I'm not going to touch on that right now. That's really it for the podcast, man. That's really it, to be honest. I will come back with more information next week. Tonight, boxing match. Smith versus Canelo Alvarez should be a good fight. You have UFC event. I forgot what UFC fight night something. I forgot which night it was, but it's last night. Last UFC event for the year. Ready for it. Let's see. I think the last podcast I touched on Earl Spence versus old boy Dan Garcia. I believe I did, but Spence, I want him to have a great fight next. Terrence Crawford, someone just step up and fight him. You know what I mean? I would love for him to see. I would love to see him and Crawford next, him and Pacquiao next, something like that. Let's see. That might be it, really. To be honest, Yoel Romero to Bellator. I like that move. Him and Ryan Bader would be a great fight if Ryan Bader stays there. Uh, that's really it, man. I will see you guys next time in the podcast, episode 8. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to review the podcast on all platforms where you can review, rate it, whatever you can do. Do it there, guys, and I will see you guys next time.